This is ABC7 News at 5. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Haley Wilgus.
I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. Our top story, an audit reveals $8 million in unpaid fraudulent property taxes in Sarasota County.
The culprits are homeowners who apply and are granted a homestead exemption when their Sarasota property isn't their primary residence. ABC7's Jess Dowdrick looked into the issue today, and she joins us live in Gillespie Park with what county property appraisers are doing about this. Jess.
Good evening, Haley and Scott. Sarasota County is the first in the state to do such an extensive audit. The county property appraiser submitted 110,000 homestead exemptions to an outside auditing firm who found hundreds of Sarasota property residents were cheating the system. Robin Curtis lives in this condo association on the corner of First and Central Avenues. Curtis bought her property a year and a half ago.
We could not move here right away because we owned a home in Connecticut. So we were told we couldn't do the homestead.
In Florida, property owners only get a tax break for the home that they live in full time. It's called a homestead exemption. Curtis didn't qualify, and neither did 547 others who committed fraud, collecting a tax break that they didn't qualify for.
I don't know how they did it, first of all. I mean, we wouldn't have even thought of doing it because we would assume that we would get caught.
And those 547 people did.
We want to be fair to every taxpayer, and every taxpayer is willing to pay their taxes. They just don't want to pay more than they have to.
Those who committed fraud not only have to pay back the taxes, but they also pay a 50% penalty and a 15% interest for every year that they didn't qualify for the homestead. At this point, $6.7 million has been paid back. The county is still waiting to collect $1.6 million. The uncollected balances will be added as liens on homes. And although the number seems high, the number of fraud cases is lower than expected.
It was a small number for us. We were told that 1 to 2% of all of your exemptions, generally speaking, will be on the list. And for us, it was only 0.5%.
Nearly $76 million in taxable value has now been added back to the Sarasota County tax rolls. And to make sure that this doesn't happen again, the property appraiser's office says they will be watching more closely and asking for more proof to make sure that homeowners really do live where they say. The $8.3 million that's being paid back will go to the tax collector. It will then be dispensed to all of the authorities who were supposed to receive it in the first place. So the county, school boards, EMS. Now the authorities are still looking at how these numbers may affect their budgets and taxes moving forward. Live in Sarasota, Jess Dowdrick, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Jess. Sarasota Memorial Hospital is making plans now to try and accommodate future patients and visitors. SMH says at times there are only 50 available spaces the entire day for parking. The hospital hopes to alleviate the parking problem with a new 600-space parking garage. Right now, there are 4 garages on campus. Crews will build the 5th garage on the west side of the hospital campus between Arlington and Hawthorne Street. The project is expected to cost about $12 million. Hospital staff believes the parking garage will also reduce traffic to Osprey Avenue.
There's always a concern of additional traffic, but I think our plans are going to push the traffic more to US 41 and Waldemere Street.
Construction is expected to begin in November and be complete by December of 2018. The city of Sarasota is hosting a public meeting about this project at City Hall at 5:30 tonight. Drivers may notice a bit of a delay along a busy road in downtown Sarasota over the next couple of days. Crews with Florida Power and Light are replacing utility poles along Orange Avenue from 10th Street down to Fruitville Road. There will be temporary lane closures between 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. The work is expected to be finished by early June.
An investigation is underway into what caused a boat to capsize in Sarasota Bay, leaving 3 juveniles hanging on for dear life. This all happened near the Ringley Museum yesterday. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission is trying to piece together what happened. Early indications point to a possible problem with the driver not having the boat's trim tabs in the right position. While the FWC is investigating, we talked to a member of the Sarasota Police Marine Unit who says inexperience may also be to blame.
Just because they took some water in over the transom doesn't mean the boat had to sink. If you have the experience to recognize that's a problem and you're aware of your surroundings, there are actions you can take to get rid of that water.
No one was hurt, and the boys were returned to their parents at the 10th Street boat ramp, a little wet and maybe a little red-faced and embarrassed.
An update tonight on the wildfires burning across Florida. So far this year, more than 2,300 wildfires have burned over 233,000 acres in the state. The Commissioner of Agriculture, Adam Putnam, says around 84 active wildfires are burning as of today. Much of the state is still experiencing drought conditions and elevated wildfire danger. So even though we are entering the rainy season, residents still need to comply with local burn bans, and bans are still in effect for both Sarasota and Manatee counties. And we know that it doesn't take that long to get dry. If we don't have rain for a week or so, we start to dry out.
Those numbers go up again, yeah. We're hoping for those rain showers, not only to help with the drought, but to cool us off a little. Here's Bob with more. Bob?
Yeah, typically the rainy season beginning mid-June. It usually takes till mid-June to all the factors come into play right now. We may be getting a little earlier of a jump start, at least this week, as our rain chances are increasing. They're a little elevated as a result of this increased moisture and a little disturbance headed our way. Already some inland storms developing and some lightning strikes well to the east of our viewing area. A few showers near Arcadia and some into east portions of Manatee County right now. Not much going on near the coast. All is quiet there. You can see that one lone shower into east Manatee County. They may generate other showers down the road with the outflow from the moderate rainfall that's occurring now. But there's not much happening right now, but I think we'll see more as we progress through the week. 88 degrees right now, sunshine, at least at the airport. Dew point is at 72, and the humidity is west, I should say, humidity at 59%. Winds are out of the west-northwest at 13. And the pressure is still fairly high, 30.06 inches. Those winds are out of the west near the coast, keeping things nice and cool, at least cooler near the area beaches. Well, much more on the rest of the week's forecast, calling for pretty good chance for some scattered storms around. Details and all that coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. If you bought a meal from a Chipotle restaurant on the Suncoast this spring, you may want to check your bank account. A recent hacking incident affecting Chipotle's nationwide may have compromised customers' personal information. An investigation found that cash registers were infected with malware and captured information stored on the magnetic strip of credit cards. The breach affected those who ate at the restaurant chain between March and April. One customer who goes to the restaurant at least 3 times a month was shocked to hear the news.
You know, you never know what's going on, you know, and just for it to be close to the neighborhood is like, you know, it's kind of overwhelming.
While the company says the breach does not affect all restaurants, they did release a list of the stores compromised. On the Suncoast, those locations include one in Bradenton, it's on Cortez Road, and then 3 locations in Sarasota. The restaurant on North Cattleman, another on South Tamiami Trail, and the newer restaurant on Fruitville Road.
ABC7 business commentator Richard Stern is joining us now. We could talk about Chipotle at some point, but for now, Richard, we're going to talk about a down day to start this short week on Wall Street.
Haley, you're absolutely right, but we have to put things a little bit in perspective. Today is the first day out of the last 8 trading days when the market has moved lower, and it was only down by 1/4%. Volume was very light. I think that's a carryover from the fact that the markets were closed yesterday. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was down by 71 points at the low of the day, but as you're about to see, finished much better than that, and as you're about to see, those numbers are very, very small. There you see the Dow down 51 points, 1/4%, the biggest loss of the day at 21,029.47. That on light volume of 589 million shares. The Standard & Poor's the NASDAQ, let's try that, down 7 points exactly, 0.1% at 6,203.19. That on volume of 1,386 million shares. And now let's try the S&P. Look at that, down less than 3 points, 0.12% at 2,412.91. Well, it seems I'm spending a lot of time talking about Amazon.com these days, and I guess for very good reason. Today, for the first time in the history of the company, their shares traded above $1,000 a share, closed at $996.70. But take a look at that. So far this year, Amazon has been up 33%. In the last 12 months, up 40%. In the last 3 years, up more than 200%. In the last 5 years, Amazon is up by 377%. Scott and Haley, I think that's what you call they've got a better mousetrap. At least they do right now.
Yeah, they sure do. How about Google? They do pretty well too.
And they're right on their heels. Google today closed at $975 a share. So while they're not at 1,000, they're certainly closing in on that very quickly as well.
All right. Richard, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, one of the nation's and world's top golfers arrested in Florida, what Tiger Woods blames for his DUI.
And ABC7 Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your full weather forecast. Plus, getting rid of debilitating knee pain, how a change in your diet could help with stiffness and soreness. That's coming up in Health Smart.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
Everything we need to know we learned in kindergarten, right? I'm Stephanie Roberts. On Suncoast View, we will put that to the test and send Linda Carson back to school as this year's kindergartners get ready to graduate. It's not easy being mom, but a new mother brings her favorite products that make the job a little easier. Plus, we get in shape for summer on Workout Wednesday, and the Indian table joins us in the kitchen.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our Finish Upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our Finish Upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
After a rough holiday weekend for Tiger Woods, we're now learning more about what happened to the golfer behind the wheel. Woods was charged with driving under the influence after being arrested in Jupiter, Florida. ABC's Maggie Rulli tells us what Woods says is to blame for the DUI.
We have new details behind this now infamous mugshot. Tiger Woods arrested for suspicion of driving under the influence early Monday morning in Jupiter, Florida. A court document reveals the responding officer found Woods asleep at the wheel and he had to be woken up. It alleges his speech was extremely slow and slurred and that he could not walk in a straight line. Woods insists alcohol was not involved, and the document shows that Woods blew a 0 on his breathalyzer test. In a statement, he blames the incident on an unexpected reaction to prescribed medications.
He's a community member, and I think that, we should support him.
The golf legend once dominated the game.
There it is, a win for the ages.
winning 79 PGA Tour events and 14 majors. But in 2009, the first crack. An SUV crash outside his home revealed a cheating scandal, leading to a very public divorce from his wife and sponsorship losses worth millions. He built back his reputation off the course, but his career remains plagued with health issues, undergoing 4 back surgeries, the most recent just this April.
Tiger, the golfer, has been basically missing over the last couple of years. He's played 3 tournaments worldwide in 2 years.
The world's former #1 golfer now sits at number 876. And ESPN correspondent Tom Rinaldi warns Woods should only expect things to get worse.
Right now, there's a mystery surrounding his competitive life, which has only been compounded by this incident in his personal life.
Again, those new documents show that Woods was not drunk at the time of the incident, but he is still being charged with driving under the influence and is set to appear in court on July 5th. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
At least 14 people are injured tonight after severe weather rolled through one North Carolina county. The storms caused significant damage in Sampson County last night. Officials say the storms damaged more than a dozen homes and destroyed a turkey farm. There are also downed trees and power lines in that area. At least 14 people were hurt, including one woman who neighbors say was trapped inside a mobile home that flipped over and rolled due to high winds.
And ABC7 wants to make sure you're ready for the upcoming hurricane season. And on that first day of the season, this Thursday, we'll bring you an hour-long hurricane special. Our weather team will go over everything you need to know to be ready, including evacuation zones and routes, shelter information, what you need to have in your supply kit, and so much more. You can also call us during the program, and our panel of experts will be here to answer your storm-related questions. So mark your calendar. It's June 1st at 7 p.m. this Thursday, right here on ABC7. Bob, you and the other members of the team have been working really hard on this to make sure everyone's ready.
And it's a pretty good, unique idea in that we have a phone bank that people have any questions or concerns. There's a lot of folks that'll be down here for the first time this hurricane season too and not knowing what to do. And it's an excellent avenue for you to find out what you need to do for this upcoming hurricane season. It's more of a hurricane expo or seminar that's broadcast to the entire community.
Convenient.
As opposed to going out to individual communities and talking to each one. You can just tune in from 7 to 8 and really get a lot of information to help you out and weather the storm, so to speak. And luckily, nothing out there right now. Here's what's going on with us. Van Way's a webcam showing beautiful conditions. It has been all weekend, extended weekend long, and now into the work week we are. Things looking pretty good. A little bit better chance for some showers and storms to develop as a result of some additional moisture in the weather column, or the atmosphere, if you will, all the way up into the upper levels of the atmosphere. Some big storms already starting to fire up along the spine of the state, and also a little disturbance here, which will also add into some lift and some shower activity down the road. Right now, not a lot going on. Most of the action east of I-75 developing. You can see this is a fire right here. You can see the smoke trail. It doesn't move. It just keeps going north. That's with the southerly wind. And then as we move through time, by 4:30, the rains start to come right over that area. But still, that fire could be burning as a result of that, again, dry conditions across parts of the Suncoast. And that will continue to be a problem up until usually midweek, or actually 2 weeks into June. We really start to get on a daily basis of showers and storms developing each and every afternoon. Well, the satellite and radar imagery showing a couple of disturbances now, which will track to the east. Will keep some instability in the atmosphere, a little bit of lift, if you will, mainly to the north. Now, we will see that east to southeasterly wind component, which will keep the moisture supply available for the showers and storms to develop each and every afternoon. A high today was into the upper 80s to low 90s. Right now, it's 88 degrees. We have a west-northwest wind at 13, and the dew point is summer-like at 72. The wind flow will stay rather light overnight, northeasterly winds tomorrow, and then a little bit of a sea breeze developing in the afternoon coming out of the southwest. It will be weak, and so expect warm, muggy conditions, so the humidity staying high and temperatures warming up to near 90 degrees up and down the coast. And although this is a forecast model showing scattered showers throughout the day, it's not going to be like that. We are going to see some sunshine with a few scattered storms, mainly in the afternoon and evening throughout the day tomorrow. Better chances for Thursday and Friday. Well, the satellite and radar picture over the U.S. continues to show mainly a west to east component, a zonal flow we call it, which is typical as we enter into the summer months. And you'll see just west to east flow with mid-latitude cyclones and severe weather starting to push further off into the northern plains and the upper Mississippi Valley. We have a system here in the Four Corners region, which will eventually swing a front near us by the weekend. Now, the European model is suggesting a little later, and it shows some pretty active showers and thunderstorms mainly in the early part of next week. But here's the RPM forecast model showing interior storms tonight, maybe 1 or 2 making their way back toward the coast, say around 10, 11 o'clock. Tomorrow, sunshine, and then showers and storms developing along the interior portions of our viewing area. Some of those will create some outflow boundaries, which will cause some showers to develop late in the evening across the west coast of Florida, and similar conditions expected and anticipated on Thursday, as there'll be plenty of moisture in play throughout much of the latter half of this work week. For boaters, winds will be out of the southeast, turning to the west at 10 knots, and we'll have a light chop on the bays and in the waters. The water temperature starting to warm up, mid-80s now. Low tide at 12:49 for Sarasota Bay. High tide will be at 7:57. Sunset at 8:20. Partly cloudy, a 20% chance for scattered mainly inland storms. 74 for your low. That's warm. And then tomorrow, showers and storms scattered about in the afternoon. Mostly sunny in the morning. Just a few clouds in the afternoon. High temperature 89. And the extended forecast does call for, look at that, 50% chance to 60 all the way through the weekend. And a lot of that will be inland, but still, we need showers everywhere across the state. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. And Suncoast Traffic Watch right now. No crashes in the area, but we're seeing I-75 backed up in the northbound lanes. This is near Fruitville Road in Sarasota and almost all the way north to University. Slow going right now. Haley?
Thank you, Scott. In health news tonight, new research shows older people who eat the most fiber are at a lower risk of developing knee pain and stiffness due to osteoarthritis. That occurs when wear and tear on the joints degrades cartilage and leads to bone abnormalities, which is extremely common in people 60 or older. Given that dietary fiber is known to help reduce inflammation, a team at Tufts University in Boston looked at whether fiber can help ease the pain. They found people who consume the most fiber at the start of the study were 30% less likely to develop knee pain than those who ate the least fiber during 4 years of follow-up. Childhood obesity is a growing problem in our country, our schools, and most of all around the waists of our kids. Now, researchers have found a regimen that both kids and parents may find more manageable. ABC's Kenneth Moten shows us how it works.
In its own way, it's an epidemic. 1 in every 3 children is overweight or obese. More than likely, you know a family member affected by it, and the health effects will continue for the child's lifetime. Scientists already know that family-based treatment is the gold standard for children to shed the pounds, as parents and kids receive nutrition and physical activity education and behavioral therapy at the same time. But bringing an entire family to an appointment can be a burden. Researchers at the University of California, San Diego tried something new, leaving the kids at home and just treating the parents. 150 parent-child pairs with heavy kids enrolled in a 6-month course. Half of the parents went to sessions alone. Half took their child with them. Youngsters lost the same amount of weight whether or not they attended the sessions and kept it off for 2 years, suggesting that parents are instrumental in promoting healthy behaviors. But an interesting aside for those who left the little ones at home, parents who attended sessions alone were most likely to gain weight themselves in the long run. Weight loss is a team effort, and if you're a kid, having a parent who is getting a weight loss course on your team may make the difference. With this Medical Minute, I'm ABC's Kenneth Moten.
Coming up, the death of a zookeeper in London, what staff members are saying about the tiger attack and the victim. And an old prison goes up in flames. What makes this facility so special? Straight ahead.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if your loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
A follow-up now in an investigation near London on what may have caused a tiger to attack and kill a zookeeper.
The 34-year-old staff member Rosa King was killed when she was in an enclosure with the tiger yesterday. The area was evacuated as a precaution. Staff members say the public was never at risk, seeing as the tiger did not escape. The zoo where it happened is still closed today. King had worked at the zoo for about 14 years. Staff members say she was passionate about the animals and defended the zoo's conservation efforts for tigers.
A historic jail in Illinois is ravaged by fire, and you may recognize it from classic movie. The firefighters battled the fire at the old Joliet prison yesterday, which is the penitentiary made famous by the Blues Brothers. The flames shot from the roof of the abandoned complex as firefighters worked to contain it. The prison was built back in the 1850s, and it housed up to 1,300 prisoners at a time over the years. It was shut down about 15 years ago, but the prison has been used in countless films.
An unexpected stop for some Uber riders in California. The Uber driver fell into a sinkhole early this morning in El Cajon. The driver and his passengers were able to get out safely, luckily. Officials say a water main break caused this sinkhole. The roadway is now closed, so crews can repair it. And a man in California gets a ticket for going 88 miles an hour in his DeLorean. Spencer White was driving on the freeway when he was pulled over for speeding. He says he did not have a flex capacitor in the car like the movie Back to the Future, and he was out of plutonium. White says he thought he was going to get a warning until the officer came back with an actual ticket.
I just start busting up laughing. My mom starts busting up laughing. He's even got this big grin on his face like he's won the lottery. He goes back to his car, and then he comes back immediately, and he's got the radar gun. And he says, "Hey, do you want to take a picture of it?" And I said, "Yeah, of course I do." You know, because the car and everything, it just was hilarious.
White's speeding ticket, though, was about $400. Not so hilarious. $400 for a speeding ticket.
I've never seen anyone so happy to get a speeding ticket as that guy.
He doesn't even care. He's like, whatever, this was great. And the police officer, you would think that they would have given a warning, but.
Well, if he was in a 40
yeah, you can't.
zone,
actually, I think there are laws that you can't give warnings on certain over this. That's why he got that $400 ticket.
Pretty quick, yeah.
Yeah, that's a safety issue. Well, still to come on your Suncoast News, a Bradenton Beach restaurant owner in trouble for live entertainment if the state will pursue criminal charges due to noise complaints.
Plus, the closure of a 50-year-old business in Sarasota, while the owners of the shortstop market are calling it quits.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our Finish Upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
What Florida city is best known for spaceflight?
Cape Carnival.
Cape Carnival? Close enough. What condiment includes vinegar, molasses, and anchovies?
Westchester sauce?
Close enough. And now, a word from our sponsors.
One-Off from the Florida Lottery. Now available for pick 2, 3, 4, and 5 games. Miss by one on any or all numbers and still win.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
I'm calling in regards about my mother, and I'm here, and I just want to thank you because it saved my mother's life yesterday. And I'd like to know the names of the people that came in and saved her. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
With Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-962-4112. That's 1-800-962-4112. Call now, 1-800-962-4112.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our Finish Upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.